Greetings, citizens of the motherfucking YouTubes. It's the Fake Sagan, and this will be my last video log here on YouTube. Not my last video, just my last video log. I'll explain all that. This is probably going to be a long rant, so strap in. Well, in my last video, which you can still find featured on my channel even though it's been removed, and the second strike has been added to my account, I re-uploaded a cartoon by my girlfriend Ocean Avani, which was removed for being pornography, even though no sexual act is depicted. It merely depicts the female form. There's a pair of cartoon titties and a cartoon booty, and that's pornography. The video was removed. Now, a user on my channel comments page left this link right over here and said, hey, compare and contrast the two videos. And I'd recommend that you guys do that. I mean, this video that he brought to my attention was not removed for pornography. It was just marked unsuitable for minors. It actually depicts a sex act, and it contains a real bare ass, a real human ass. So what's the disconnect here? Well, unless it's nipples that YouTube really has a problem with, which is possible, and not, even nipples themselves, just the mere idea of nipples as suggested by the artist's pen. Unless that's what they have a problem with, and what's really going on here is, the Trojan commercial is a corporate creation. They don't want to offend a sponsor. They don't want to offend somebody with some bankroll, which Ocean Avani isn't. So we've got this uneven standard going on. Now, of course, YouTube's attempt to censor Ocean Avani's video, to make it disappear, was unsuccessful. I mean, it started out being one video. Now there's probably 5 or 10 copies of it floating around. People have re-uploaded it out of defiance. But the intention, as far as I'm concerned, was never to make that video go away. It's about power. That's what censorship is really about. I think people have a mistaken impression about what's going on in the mind of a censor. I think people have the mistaken impression that a censor is genuinely offended by the material being censored. I don't think that's true. I'm willing to bet that Jerry Falwell had Marilyn Manson's entire discography, and he probably rocked out to it, in private. Censors love art. They're drawn to it. But they also want to control the artist because they're jealous of the power to create, a power that they lack. It's kind of like if you're unfortunate enough to be born with a small penis, you'll probably end up being one of these jackasses that goes and gives lectures at local high schools about abstinence-only education. And so, because, if you can't satisfy a woman, nobody else is going to, right? I mean, that's what it's really about. That's what censorship is. And YouTube, speaking for myself, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you guys, yeah, I haven't watched TV in years. Mainstream cable TV, network TV, I can't stand it. It just insults my intelligence. There's no originality. And I came to YouTube to escape that banal corporate fluff. And lo and behold, it's followed me. It's chased me here. Well, that's what happens. I mean, it's kind of like, when a bunch of broke hippie artists move into some small town somewhere and set up a little artist community. They've got a happening local music scene. There's a lot of cool artwork, and then what happens? All the rich people move into town, right? They're like, oh, look at this quaint little artists community. Isn't it darling? And what happens? They gentrify the place. The property value goes up, so all the hippie artists can't afford to live there anymore. The Trevors and Buffy set up a little town arts commission, and they say, well, your work is a little too edgy for us. Could you tone it down a little bit? And, in about a year's time, what do you have? Another bland suburb. YouTube was a temporary autonomous zone on the internet. It was a little stronghold carved out in the wilderness by rebel factions. It was never meant to last. And when the freedom's gone, so am I. I considered going out with a bang. I considered making one final video, and this is what it was going to be. I'll share my vision with you guys. I was going to call this video, Fake Sagan pisses off everybody, or fuck your group identity, or something like that. The whole thing would have taken, 5 minutes tops. But what I was going to do, I was going to place the religious scriptures, the holy scriptures for every major religion, into a 10-gallon fish tank, along with as many sacred kind of relic-y items as I could find, like maybe a consecrated Eucharist, something like that. And then I was going to drink a sixer of Schlitz and piss all over it. That's part one. Part two, I was going to take miniature versions of the flags of every single UN member state, douse them in lighter fluid, and burn them all at once. Then I was going to proceed to tell a racist joke about every single major ethnic group. And just to piss off anybody that I might have missed, I was going to finish by, raping a baby or punching an old lady in the tits or something. I don't know, I would have thought of something. Well, I thought about doing this, and then I realized, well, I'll just be giving YouTube what they want, won't I? They'll ban me, sure, but the video will remain. Hundreds of people will re-upload this video, and it will generate what YouTube needs to live, viewership. Some guy will email the cubicle next to him and say, hey, check out this crazy motherfucker over here, and a new YouTube fan is born right there. The way to stick it to the man is to stop generating content, and that's exactly what I'm gonna motherfucking do. Now, I'm not gonna. You'll still see activity on my channel. I'm gonna sign in to watch other people's videos who I enjoy. I'm going to set up shop somewhere else, and I'll make videos telling you guys where I am, so you can go watch me on Blog TV or wherever the fuck wherever I set up shop. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm done generating content for YouTube. It wasn't meant to last. I've always understood something about the nature of freedom that I think other people don't, which is that freedom is ephemeral. You can't bottle it. You can't engineer a free society. You can't you develop a philosophy or a religion that's conducive to setting one free. You can't write